Welcome to Unshielded, the podcast where we explore the cutting edge of blockchain, data protection, and the quest for a more equitable and accessible internet. Today, we're joined by Brandon Wolf, GM of Lace Wallet, and he's here to share his insights on the importance of wallets for Web3 user experience and how the Lace team have been working to enable great wallet UX on the Midnight Network. Brandon, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate that. Brandon, for those who don't know you, could you give us your brief background and how did you get involved with Lace?
Certainly. It's a long story. The gray in my beard is not for show. I've been in technology for about 25 years now. After leaving the Marine Corps, I took a job as a simple computer operator, taught myself Web 1, HTML, back in the day when there was no YouTube, there was no tutorials. You just had to go to the W3C website and learn it. I became a webmaster, which at that point you were everything. You were the server guy, you were the graphics guy, you were the networking person. As the Web 1 evolved into Web 2, things became more specialized. And rather than choose my favorite child, I decided I'd go into management. So I started to work my way towards management into Web 2, and I became more of working my way towards a CTO position. So I became a CTO at Napster. I worked in legal tech for about 20 years, about 17 years. And after that, I became CTO at Napster. And when Napster was actually acquired by Algorand, so I worked for Algorand as the CTO there to move them to a Web3 type of platform. So had a lot of success there. I was then also working on the FIFA Collect platform. And then from there, I was able to connect up with some folks at Cardano and was able to move over. And we were looking at a few different options of how to where I could best serve the organization, and settled on the Lace Wallet. So I've been involved now as the GM of Lace Wallet for just over 2 months, but I've actually been at IO and Cardano for since December of last year, so coming up on a year.
Wow, quite the decorated career, and shout to all the other webmasters out there. That's a phrase that I haven't heard for a long time, but really, really delighted that you're here. As you said, you've been building out Lace Wallet for a number of months now, and I'm sure you've learned a lot in that time. Could you share more on the importance of a wallet in the overall Web3 experience, and how is Lace innovating in that area?
Absolutely. So Lace has been around longer than I've been at IO. They've actually been working on it for a couple of years. And I think the primary value that, a wallet brings to the ecosystem, it is the first entry point for most people to get into crypto. The first thing you want to do when you're looking at assets is to connect a wallet to either a dApp or start to store, send, and receive assets across the blockchain. So the wallet, it presents itself as a very front and foremost product offering for many users. And this is something that we strive for daily, is to bring users into Web3 in a comfortable and seamless way. So it's not just trying to accommodate the crypto savvy people who are doing a lot of DeFi type work, but also to try to bring people into it, to understand it, to help them adopt it, bring some type of excitement around it. And that's really where Lace is focused on. Lace is focused on becoming one of the premier wallets in the world. We're a bit of an underdog right now, but we like that position, and we'll take that in stride. And it gives us something to work for.
Very good. Well, as our community knows, there are lots of differences and challenges for builders across different blockchain ecosystems. Maybe could you give us a little bit of insight into how Lace operates in the Cardano ecosystem, and what's the longer term vision?
Absolutely. So right now we are primarily doing Cardano and Cardano derivative assets within Lace. So we operate basically in four major areas in terms of functionality. One is, of course, the send and receiving, the token transaction piece. The second is NFTs, maintaining your NFT collection, whether it is just simple imagery, or if also token gated experiences. We keep a heavy amount of traffic related to the transactions that are occurring, so you can see all of your history. You have complete visibility into that. And then also staking. Staking is a big area for Lace and for many other wallets, where you can provide liquidity to a pool and earn rewards as a result of that. Some of the things we're working on towards the future is, I think probably the biggest and first and foremost is Lace is primarily right now a browser extension. And that does limit our audience quite a bit. And the question I get asked the most is, when are you going to mobile? And mobile is something that is for sure on the roadmap. It is essential for our survival if we're going to compete, because everyone's carrying a phone, and we want to reach as many people as possible to bring that experience to them. We're also looking to branch out into multi-chain, so going above and beyond just the Cardano network, and to make sure that we have a full encompassing suite of products that we can offer within the Lace wallet. We're looking primarily to get into sovereign identity and provide a form of identity protection and identity management within the wallet, so that you take your identity and your data with you. And another thing that we're looking at close to the future is going to be moving into embeddability. So where the wallet can be embedded into various different apps and dApps that are out in the ecosystem now. And people who are looking to build applications on the network can look to Lace to become a framework or an SDK or some type of interoperability with us to have their own wallets incorporated.
Wow, that's quite the roadmap. And I'll maybe pick on one of those particular items because I think it'll be interesting to the listeners or the people watching in, is that interoperability and multi-chain. So Midnight, which most now know at this point is a partner chain of Cardano, will be, I think, Lace's first foray into the multi-chain functionality. Could you give us some insights into what the development journey has looked like so far between Lace and Midnight?
Yeah, it's been interesting. It's been challenging. It's been fun, I think, for both sides. It is two parties who are working in parallel towards a common goal. And so we have the Midnight team that we've been working very closely with, and they've been working very closely with us to align on objectives, align on a roadmap, align on timings, align on very strategic but also tactical level initiatives that we need to undertake. So there's been a lot of back and forth between what the wallet capabilities are and how Midnight would interoperate with that, as well as how we could best accommodate the Midnight offerings, both in the shielded and the unshielded tokens going forward.
It has been a journey, and the collaboration has been fantastic. I was in Token 2049 Singapore with a number of the Lace team. They are fearless. They are fantastic. They're incredibly bright, incredibly committed, and we're very grateful for them. So shout out to everybody working on that collaboration on both sides. It's not simple. It's not trivial working on building a blockchain and building a wallet in parallel at the same time.
That's absolutely true. Yeah, I am very fortunate to work with some of the sharpest and smartest people on my team. It makes my job a privilege and an absolute pleasure to serve these people as their GM.
Fabulous. And you mentioned one of the unique features of Midnight is the use of the unshielded night token and the shielded tokenized resource dust. So you've got two assets that dApp users, developers, and the wider ecosystem is engaging with. Maybe it's time to do a demonstration. Could you show us how has Lace embedded management of night and dust for Midnight?
Absolutely. So I will share my screen now. So we'll just demonstrate a very simple transaction on testnet, which was just recently released. I think first we should talk about the high-level architecture, which is really just a browser extension wallet along with a proof server that I have running locally. And I'll show that right now. So this is mine running in Windows, but this also works on macOS and Linux. It is just a Docker container, which takes literally two commands, one to do the pull and one to do the run. And then you have a working proof server, which is ready for local testing. The entire total setup time for me was roughly 10 minutes to install both the extension in two browsers and the proof server. So very easy to install and get started working with. Just a brief overview of the UI, which you'll notice is a minimalist Lace interface set up for the simplicity of testing. But you'll see there are the same settings that we have within the Lace wallet to allow you to view the network and service addresses that you would use within the testnet framework, as well as any dApps that you have connected to the wallet itself. So what I will do is I've got two wallets open in two separate browsers to just show a quick send and receive transaction. But on the right-hand side, I have a faucet available that I can send myself dust on testnet only. So what I will do is I will copy my address. I will paste it into the faucet, request tokens. This will take up to 2 minutes, usually faster. And then I'll wait for the dust to appear alongside my balance. All right, so the dust has now appeared. It sends 5 dust at a time. I can keep requesting more if I need more, but I'll just show a quick send and receive transaction. So I will again copy the receiving address from my wallet. I can click the wallet name and do it here, or I can go to receive and I have a QR code and the address, and I can copy it from the copy button. And then I come into the sending address and I'm going to paste in the address for my recipient wallet. add some dust. I review the transaction to make sure that I have the correct number of dust that I'm sending, as well as the recipient address matches. That looks good. I'll click send, and then I add my wallet. I add my wallet password just to confirm it's me. And very quickly, it will return that the dust has been sent. Okay, and so the transaction has been sent. It shows me the amount that's been pending. Of course, there are fees on top of that are added in just to make sure there's enough to cover the expense. But the actual withdrawal will be the amount that I sent, which was 3.14. And then in just a matter of seconds, you'll see it appear on the right-hand side in my wallet as funds that were transferred successfully. And now you see that those have come across, and my total balance has been received. And I have 25.56 increasing by 3.14, and the number was decreased on the left. And that is it. That is how we are sending and receiving dust in the testnet Lace wallet. And you'll see the money is now on the receiving wallet, has been received. The numbers reflect the accurate number in here. And it's important to note that we used a shielded transaction here. So the user is unaware that this is happening with zero knowledge proofs in the back end validating the transaction itself. And it presents a much cleaner interface for the user experience.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for the demo, Brandon. Closing us out, what's next in store for you and the Lace team over the next couple of months?
Yeah, so for the remainder of the quarter, we're looking at a few different releases, one of which being our phase 2 and phase 3 of the Midnight component that we're building out. And we have 7 phases bringing us all the way to final completion. But we're also focused on bringing shared wallets and multi-sig, at least our phase 1 of that particular instance into production. We'll also be starting the road mapping for our mobile piece, which is going to be a big win for us. But we want to have some added value that we bring alongside of that as we deploy the mobile wallet and become platform agnostic.
Fabulous. A lot to look forward to. And again, a huge thanks to all the Lace team for helping and supporting on the integration with Midnight and on the continued work. Great to see Lace functioning with Midnight on testnet in the demo. So really appreciate that. And that wraps up our discussion with Brandon Wolf. We've covered Web3 wallets, shielded tokens, and as always, a very insightful demo. If you've enjoyed the episode, be sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to follow us on social media for all the latest updates and more exciting conversations in the world of blockchain and data protection. Unshielded is brought to you by Midnight. To find out more about how the Midnight Network is helping everyone to build a more equitable and accessible internet, visit our website at midnight.network. And remember to search Unshielded on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode.